What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Bundesliga career mode. This is episode number 38, and we start today's stuff on the back of our win over Köln in the last game, in the last episode to keep us top of the Bundesliga as we chase an unlikely league and European double, because for the first game of 3 in today's episode, Porto at home in the Europa League semi-final first leg. Sevilla vs Arsenal is the other tie as we take on the Portuguese side. Right now, 1 point behind their rivals Benfica as they chase the Portuguese league. And as we know, Porto, team with really good talent, really good youngsters, and Pepe is still there, by the way. He's not retired yet, 41 years old. And did you see his pace? Pepe is quicker than he was in his Real Madrid days, in his prime, I swear. But some great talent. Diogo Costa is still there in the game, hasn't moved on. He's still between the sticks at the Dragão. And it's a decent team, there's no doubt about it. But I said when the tie was drawn, I do believe we're slight favourites for it. So heading into the tie, after coming through Lokomotiv Moscow and then Monaco, now facing Porto, first leg at the Schuka Arena. You saw my lineup, taking no chances whatsoever. We're going for that double, and as we face the Portuguese side here at the Schuka, I wanted a strong first leg showing, unlike the previous 2 rounds. And that's why 5 minutes in, I was fuming to see this. Away in Russia, we drew. Away in France, we drew. And this, for the first time, would be at home for the first leg in the European tie. Porto at the Schuka took the lead 5 minutes in, and I just didn't get started. We fell behind early, and I thought we cannot be heading to the Dragão down and trailing. So we need a response, we need it now, and just straight after Porto got themselves in front, our very first chance to game resulted in a goal. And who got it? Well, I've been praising the backup boys recently. Llewellyn and Okugawa's injury has paved the way for 2 new players to emerge as stars who were both signed this season in the summer. Josip Brekalo and, of course, Kolo Muani, who has been so consistently good when filling in for Jamie Llewellyn. He scored our goal, got us back on level terms, and I think the first goal that Porto scored, it was kind of like a wake-up moment, do you know what I mean? Sort of like a, come on, Brent, what are you doing? Seriously, it's Europa League semi-final. Let's get going, shall we? Brekalo scored straight afterwards to give us the lead for the first time in the game. The backup boys getting us from behind to tied to leading, once again turning up big. The duo, the backup duo, turning the tie on its head so soon after falling behind, and 27 minutes in. Oh my goodness, I've got decisions to make for next season already. Okugawa and Llewellyn are our best 2 players. But since they've gone down, how good have these 2 guys been, man? Seriously, they scored a goal each to turn the tie on its head in the first half an hour, and then Brekalo assisted Randall for our 3rd and his 2nd of the game. The backup boys at it again. Bielefeld 3, Porto 1. From a goal down 5 minutes in, we now led in Bielefeld. 3-1 up. And in the second half, once again, I'd made a slow start. Just like in the first half, Porto had looked better in the opening 10 minutes. A good save by Ortega there, kept us still in front by a goal from the corner, whipped in. What a header by Cardozo. A bullet past our number 1 as he beat Stefan to make it 3-2. But thankfully, after that, we managed to see no chances whatsoever in the final 35 minutes. Yeah, final half an hour in what was a 5-goal thriller was a bit disappointing, but I'll tell you the main reason why. You see the possession stat there and the passes we had? I'll be honest, I just tried to slow the tempo down, kill the game off, kill as much clock and burn as much clock as I could, and that's how we managed to hold on for the win. 3-2 the final score, we win the first leg, a clean sheet of the Dragão puts us through to the Europa League final. But when you think about our defensive woes this season, particularly in the European ties as well, I've got to say, away from home I should say, I've got to say, that's going to be easier said than done. Having said that, we are 90 minutes away from the Europa League final in our first ever year in European football. Don't bottle it now. So, yeah, following game, final one of April. Fortuna Dusseldorf away from home, where this man will be back in the starting 11 for the first time in over 3 months. Jamie Llewellyn's broken toe kept him sidelined. Kolo Muani played the full 90 on Thursday night, so I gave him the day off. As we were taking on the side right now at the bottom of the Bundesliga, 18th place, but due to how congested it is at the bottom of the table, a win in this game could see them exit the bottom 3. So heading into this clash, both teams needed a wins for polar opposite reasons. We're top, they're bottom. but both sides knew that a win would give them a great chance of achieving their objectives. We'd go 3 points of Bayern, clear of Bayern once again, and they would exit the drop zone. So both teams needed the win in this game. And right from kickoff, we got ourselves the opening goal. Josip Brekalo has come in for Okugawa and said, Doxy boy, why were you worried when Messiah went down? I've been sat on the bench all season long, waiting for my chance. Now he's got it, now he's taken it. 7th of the season, averaging 1 in 2 in the Bundesliga. Gives us the lead right from kickoff, but the host would respond. 14 minutes in, a corner, failed to be dealt with, smashed in at the near post. It's 1-1. Not really that many chances in the first start, to be fair, despite the fact there were 2 goals in the opening quarter of an hour. And right before the break, once again the host coming forward, Klaus down the right hand side, turns Jordan Torunariga, rolls it across, and a good stop by Schuster keeps us still tied at 1-1. So despite being bottom, the hosts in this game, knowing they really needed a win to exit the drop zone, were playing like that was going to be their minimum target. We were tied at the break, still at 1-1, but in the second half, 4 minutes after the restart, we would restore our lead, and it was Robin Hack cutting in from the left, bending it towards the far corner as he loves to do, and gets us to goal to put us back in front and restore the lead. And I was thinking, come on man, seriously, these guys are bottom. I know their Bundesliga lives are on the line right now, but this should be one of the easiest games of the season, and I'm only at the moment scraping by a goal. And oh my god, 10 minutes after the restart, I had to include that. Robin just scored the goal to put us back in front, and he almost scored a contender for goal of the series. That scissor kick from 30 yards going just over the bar and onto the roof of the net. So still 2-1, but just like in the first half, the second half started off at a frenetic pace. We were still in front by a goal, but Dusseldorf would respond and get their second leveler of the game. Once again, failing to deal with a ball into the middle. Dardai cut it out, but lost it straight away. Dusseldorf got the chance, and they took it as well. Smacked it in, top corner, it's 2-2, and I just couldn't stop them. And to be fair to Dusseldorf as well, I thought it would be a rollover, but instead they were really making me work for this. Tied at 2-2, once again we'd surrendered our lead, and 66 minutes in, back in the team and almost back on the score sheet. Jamie Llewellyn hits the top of the crossbar, and it's still 2-2. And at this point, with both teams going for the win, it was really end-to-end in the second half, and with 15 minutes to go, with the hosts pushing for a shock winner, they appeared to have got it. Once again, ball into the middle, we failed to deal with it, no one takes charge, and Dusseldorf, bottom of the table, come from behind twice to level, and then lead. And right at the death, Florian Kruger thought he'd found a leveler for us. What a save with the right boot as his header was put behind for a corner. And Jordan Torunariga's header from the following corner goes way over the bar. The final touch of the game. And that was how it would finish. Final score, Dusseldorf 3, Bielefeld 2. And what do I talk about so often in FIFA? The toughest games are the ones you expect to be the easiest. 3-2 the final score. Dusseldorf escaped the drop with a win over what were the league leaders as we drop to second on goal difference over Bayern. It is going to be a 2-horse race in the final 2 games. As you can see, we're separated by 4 goals as Dusseldorf escaped the bottom 3 with a miraculous victory. And I may well have blown it. Our final 2 games of this season are both away days. And who have we got? Our series rivals, Borussia Mönchengladbach at Borussia Park, and the final day could well be a title decider at the Allianz Arena against the champions Bayern, where I would say we'll probably need to win, even if we win the penultimate game of the season, because Bayern's final 2 games are away against Wolfsburg, who, to be fair, are in 3rd place right now, so that's a really tough game for them. We've both got tough away days in the penultimate games of the season, us at Borussia Park and Bayern away at Wolfsburg. So really, it's crazy to say this, but with how tight it's been for the majority of the second half of the season and only separated by goal difference, I've got no idea how this season's going to wrap up. I really have got no idea. That loss to Dusseldorf could prove to be crucial. 2 games to go. Goal difference separate the top 2. Have I bottled it, or can we pull out of the bag in the best way possible? Third and final game of today's episode, Porto away, Dragao, and after winning the first leg 3-2 in a 5-goal thriller in Bielefeld, now travelling to Portugal Well, I said if we kept a clean sheet in this game, we'd be through to the Europa League final. But just like 7 days ago, we fell behind inside the opening 10 minutes. Player with the goal, the French forward gives Porto the lead. And once again, I'm bemoaning my poor defence. I chose Bielefeld because I wanted to learn to be a better defender with a great defensive team. Fact of the matter is, in this year's FIFA, defending is just so difficult. We're down by a goal, it's 3-3. No away goals in European ties now, as we know, so we weren't going to be going out at this point, but I wanted to get back on level terms on the night, just like we did so soon after conceding the first goal 7 days ago, and we'd do so as well. Jonas Hoffmann's third in the Europa League this season puts us back on level terms and back in front in the tie. It's 4-3. Great strike by the former Mönchengladbach man as he ties it on the night, and then with 8 minutes to go before the break, just like 7 days ago, we come from behind to lead, and it's Marco Ludwig, the kid on the wing, that smacks in our second, gives us our first lead in Portugal. It's 5-3 over 2 legs at half-time. I was thinking, okay, surely we're not going to throw this away. But I thought about what happened on the weekend against Dusseldorf, leading twice to throw away the 2-goal leads, and then lose the game. 7 minutes after the restart, Porto just start halves off strong. They were back on level terms on the night and trailing by 1 over 2 legs. They found a route back into the tie to make it 2-2. And in the second half, I just did not get going whatsoever. Maybe complacency leading by 2 on aggregate. Porto had been the stronger team, and with 17 minutes to go after he scored their second, he got their third as well. Taremi follows in from close range, and from 5-3 up on aggregate to down by a goal on the night and tied over 2 legs, are choked once again, and Porto had all the momentum. I'd done nothing in the second half whatsoever until we almost got back in front over 2 legs. Jonas Hoffmann, who scored our leveller, almost put us back in front, off the crossbar, still down by a goal on the night, still tied over 2 legs, and after 90 minutes, in a 5-5 thrilling tie, we went into extra time. And at this point, it was a case of mentality and stamina. Who had the better? Who had the better mindset? Who had more energy? Who had fresher legs? Well, 6 minutes after the extra time period had began, as we were still down on the night and tied over 2 legs, we got one chance to put us in front, and we gave Porto a taste of their own medicine. They've been starting off every half so strong, all 4 of them in the 2 legs in this tie, but this time it was our turn to make the brighter start. Robin Hack sent down the left, bends into the far corner as he often does for his second in 2 games in all competitions, and thankfully, after that goal there, in an absolute thriller at the Dragao, we draw on the night but win the tie. And I would have been fuming had we not won it as well, when you look at all of those shots on the higher XG. Porto 3, Bielefeld 3. What a tie it was. 6-5 over 2 legs, but Bielefeld just about make it through. And fair play to Lokomotiv Moscow, Monaco and Porto, because each team pushed us every step of the way, but we are into the Europa League final, and we'll be taking on Sevilla. They overcame the Gunners, the most dominant side in Europa League history. They've won it more than any other club, and we've got them in the Europa League final, in our first ever European final. But before we get there, the final 2 games of the Bundesliga season. 2 games to go, tied with Bayern and only separated by goal difference. Mönchengladbach away, and then a potential title decider at the Allianz. Oh my god, 2 games to go. Can we pull off an amazing League and European double? Well, that went in today's episode of the Bundesliga Career, guys. Big thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the game. Drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for not season 3, the final 2 games of the Bundesliga, as we go for our first ever league title very soon.